I'll set up the Twitter as we're going. View on Twitter.
Oh yeah, I'll see if I can do mine. View
I think
on
PJ's
Twitter.
lubricating himself up for the show.
This seems to be working, I think. X. it's always just such. You know what? StreamYard, you'd think it'd be better at all of this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. Okay, so I'm hitting this, and then I'll pin it to my profile on X.
Yeah.
All right, that seems to be working.
Yeah, and if you rest your number up here on you see it says that you're live, and then there's an I thing and the numbers. If you rest your mouse on that, it'll tell you what's coming through what.
Okay. Yep.
It's just interesting to do. I'll get rid of that background. That background, we got 3,649 day ban for Cafe Lockdown. We got 3,022 days to go. Then I can make your funny cat video. There you go. Okay, it's all yours. Have fun, boys. I'm going to be watching. Yeah.
Sweet,
cool,
mate.
Man. All right. How you going, brother?
Good, mate. Yourself?
Oh, yeah. Good. How do I get... here we go. I think Wayno, for those that are not in the know, he's out of town for working away. How's my audio anyway?
It sounds good, mate.
Now?
Dulcet tones of fine.
Cool. All right. We're going to have Reid, who was raided because she's got links to Desi Freeman. So it's going to be interesting tonight. I watched her show. She's one of the Cardi girls. So it's going to be interesting just getting it straight from the horse's mouth, like someone who's actually... is that... Oh!
What are you fucking maggots doing? What's happening?
This is going to be funny. You've been on the drinks, haven't you?
I've had so many drinks. Look,
you can't tell.
Here's my boy.
With your boy Skinny Dick.
We're in Cardwell. We're crazy.
Running amok.
Cyclone season here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We just finished a cannery.
Oh, and what their cannery? A bowl of chips and 8 pints.
No. Yeah. Yes. A couple of pints.
No.
What of
it?
I had a couple of Chardonnays. What of it? Oh, going off. I've got 1 bar of 4G. So I don't know how long this will go for.
That's the biggest bar you've ever had.
Straight up.
So how long are you away for, bro?
What's that?
How long are you away for?
Oh, yeah.
It's your boy Skinny Dick.
We're it's a boy.
This is a typical WTF show, isn't it?
No, we're up here till Friday, I think.
Oh, nice.
It depends on the weather. There's all these cyclones coming in. And it's fucking rain and flood out, and we're supposed to be building a house, so it's not really going to happen. And
fixing build the moat first.
Yeah, probably. Well, last time it flooded here, we were supposed to be up here building a house, and we were like, I wonder if it's going to be flooded or not. And we looked on Facebook, and some cunt was fucking rowing down the street in a tinny. So we were like, probably not gonna be building a house. That was in January.
Nah, nice.
What are you boys doing?
Oh, it's March.
Well,
it is
March. Well, we're going to have Reid's on, and you said you were saying, oh, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, she was raided by the police because she had links to Desi. But I also want to ask her. I believe that Desi's wife actually had a gun license, and they asked if they could store a gun safe at her place. Is that actually is that legal? Because you've got a gun
is,
license.
yes.
You can store it at another person's place?
You can store it at another person's place, but he's legally not allowed to own the guns. He could have transferred them into his misso's name, but he obviously.
She had a gun license, apparently.
But he would have had to have transferred them into her name. He can't.
No,
just
I don't think
store
he
them.
ever had them. I don't think he ever had them. She's the one who bought them.
Then there's nothing illegal.
Yeah. But I'm just.
And that's why they didn't say they were there for gun checks. They were there because he was not allowed to have guns because of his political affiliations and his mental health or whatever. As far as I've heard or am aware, he wasn't allowed to have weapons. But if his missus had them, unless they specifically said she wasn't allowed to have any as well because of Desi, then she was perfectly legally fine to have them. Because if you have a gun safe and your partner doesn't have a license, you're not allowed to. They're not allowed to have access to that safe. Correct. So for example, I've got a safe. If I get an on the spot check. And they rock up and I'm not there, and they ask my missus, "Can you just grab the keys and open it up for us to have a look?" And she does. I'm in big trouble because she's not meant to know where the key is. She's not meant to have access.
Gotcha. Yep.
So it's kind of one of those weird things where it's weird. But that's obviously why they never said anything about that. They were there for weapons checks. They were there because of apparent sexual assault stuff, which for the most part I think is absolutely fucking bullshit. I'm starting to think that Desi fucked off into the bush somewhere and killed himself, or they killed him on the spot and hid it. But that's a little bit more conspiracy than provable. But I think that if they didn't shoot him on the day, I think he fucked off up into the bush somewhere and hid in a hole and fucking ended it, because apparently he said to his missus, "See ya in heaven" or something like that. So who fucking knows?
Who knows? You'll never know.
Yeah, unless
I don't think we'll ever know, man. Unless he's still alive. But I mean, do you reckon? Do you reckon he's Epsteined it and he's over in
Israel?
He's in Cardwell right now, actually. That's he coming.
Well, I was just scrolling some reels before and just went, fucking hell, AI's having a ball with this fucking new war.
Bro.
Oh, really?
It's more intense than any other war or anything that's happened. I think it's a psyop, personally. Yeah. I think they're pumping out as much as they can to fool everybody, like to trick everyone into not knowing what the fuck is happening.
Well, I sent Tommy a thing of people on a rooftop bar at a rave filming the filming the Iron Dome in action.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can download it. I'm sort of behind with everything because I've just I had a shit day at work. I was going to, do little bits and pieces, but fucking they they tried to break into the bike cage last night that we've got at work. So I had to try and find the footage. Yeah, surprise, surprise, what nationality they were. I won't reveal it. Because that'd be racist. Yes.
Or at least they were black.
They were black. Yeah. Yep.
They were definitely black.
They were black.
We all knew.
It was not.
Wait. One of them was like half.
One of them was white, actually. So there were two.
Someone had to drive them there.
Someone needed a license. Steady on. You boys are off the tap, man. We're 10 minutes in.
Oh, well, look at it.
Yeah.
He's in the bike game. Did they look like that, Tom?
This PC breaking down all the time.
His light just went off and it was all dark.
Smile. Quick smile.
I will have to log off in a minute, boys. My reception's fucked.
It's all good.
Oh, is
good
it?
to see you, brother.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad. You guys drop in and out, but no, I'm not surprised, Tom. It's unsurprising these days.
Yeah. I'd really love to know. Like, I'm going to ask her as well, because I keep getting different feedback on, even when I do a search for it. Because Daniel Andrews' case that Desi was bringing up against him, that was coming up, but then other searchers or AI say, no, that's not the case. So it's going to be interesting to hear what she has to say about it.
All right, well, listen, it looks like she's logging on, so I might actually log off, man, because, I'm cutting in and out. My service is terrible. But have a good night, lads.
Your service here is better than Tom's most nights.
Yeah. Well, mine's got better because I'm using the Apple laptop that we got.
Yeah.
That I got. Yeah, I had to bite the bullet. It used to be horrible. Let me put some light on me.
Righto. Well, hey, Kate, nice to see you. How you going?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, good. Cruising. I unfortunately, I've got a cruise. I'm out in the middle of bloody Queensland, and my reception's terrible. So I'll leave you guys to it. But it's very interesting. I'll be listening along and very interested. So hope everyone has a good night, and I'll see you all later.
See you, buddy.
See you.
Cool.
Catch.
Hi, Kay.
Hi, how are you? Tom?
Very good.
How you going, Kay?
I'm well, thank
Good.
you. Very well.
That's good.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear.
Right.
Yeah. So I watched we'll promote your Cardi Girls as well.
Yes.
Because that was quite an interesting episode that I watched where you're talking about how your place got raided because of your links to Desi.
Yes.
When did you first get to know? And so you obviously live locally where Desi lives.
Yeah. I'd known Desi and Marley for a long, long, long time. Probably, I think I knew Desi before I knew Marley, because I'm a travel agent and I'd done some travel for Desi. And then Desi was going over, fallen in love with Marley, and of course needed to bring Marley back to Australia eventually. And that's how I got to know Marley as well. So probably
where's Marley from?
The Philippines. So Desi's an avid photographer. I don't know. His work is incredible because of Mount Buffalo. Some of the photos he's taken have been incredible with the waterfalls, the rock formations. During the fires, he'd go, I'll never forget him coming into my office and saying, oh, I've just got these photos. And he'd been up in this old car that hardly had any brakes. I don't think it did have proper brakes, right up to the fire breaks to get these photos. And then he did do a photo exhibition at the CFA with the photos to raise money. So he was an avid photographer. So went to the Philippines, and that's where he met Marley. So, so I've known them for a long time. Lovely people. I condone not what happened. Put that aside. It was terrible. It should never have happened.
No.
But, they're great people, and so in the community, a lot of people knew them in this community. It was almost like we were guilty because we breathed the same air, it was. And a few years ago, Molly and Des were in a home that was sold during the pandemic, so they couldn't leave the area. So they then had a little motorhome, and some other friends were happy for them to park their motorhome on their property, and they asked us, would we have their container, because it had all their household, their kitchen stuff, things you can't fit in a motorhome, couches, tables, chairs. And they wanted to pay us to put the container on our property. And we went, no, it's actually a holiday property. No, just put it down there, not a problem. They repaid us by coming and helping us plant 400 olive trees, which was a penance for anything. So, so the container was there and it was addressed to there, I guess. And I think they would have known whose container it was. And I think that is why we were targeted. So, as I said to you, that the warrants that were issued, I think, about 4:00 in the afternoon on the day it happened, I believe. There's 2 different warrants, which is interesting.
And was the container still on your property when they?
The container was still on the property. It was all locked up. Of course, they cut the bolts, and there's nothing in there except household stuff. They threw the stuff out, and it was a wet night too, I think. So some of the stuff got wet, and then we're away. So luckily we'd left our shed door open. Otherwise, they would have rammed that as well, probably, because the shed's next door to where the container is. But we got a call at about, I think it was 2:30 in the morning. We're up in the Gulf, and the woman said to us, can you come down? We've got a warrant. And I went, well, no, we're in the Gulf. And she said, where's that? I said, the Gulf of Carpentaria. And she said, where's that? That's in far north Queensland, a long, long way away.
Yeah.
a long way away. So anyway, she was telling me what they had the warrant for, to search. I said, I'll give you the keypad entries, because there's a house, there's a little studio attached to a yoga room, because we use this for health and wellbeing retreats, and 2 little cabins, which are tiny. And they went, it's too late. I went, what do you mean it's too late? We've already been in. Oh, how did you get in? Well, we saw how they got in.
Yeah, the £10 keys.
That's right. So, I think I failed to mention on the Cardi Girls the damage. It was $26,000 worth of damage. Thank you to the taxpayers who've paid for that.
That's right. You did get your money back, yeah?
We got the money. People said, you'll never get it. And I said, you want to bet?
They have to.
Well, yes, it took a bit of, we had to chase, and they were very good in the end, and really helpful in the end. But the lost earnings, we couldn't get lost earnings, but then the police were telling people not to come here. So we probably wouldn't have had any earnings anyway. But the previous year we had earnings because the snow was so good too this year. Yeah. So, and plus it took us about a month to get it fixed, because we had to close the whole business down, because we had to put new flooring in because of the grenades they threw in onto the carpet, burnt all the carpet, burnt mats, smashed doors. I don't know whether it was really, I understand coming from their point of view, they don't know they do know who we are. The local police would know who we are. That might be why they did it. That might have been why they did it. So that's sort of basically, it wasn't, we weren't the only ones. I think we were the most damage done. However, we do have friends, and she has given me license to tell their story. They went to their place and she asked them to see a warrant, and said, she's very sparky and she knows her stuff, and told them to go away and get a warrant, which they did. And when they came back, they drove straight through her gate in their big black Bearcat.
Wow.
Told them to come out. I probably could use that language on this show. But
you get away with everything.
Yeah, there's not much you can't
the Cardi Girls do too, but me being a lady and all. They called them for everything, told them to come out. So the lady was standing out in the rain, 7 degrees, hands in the air, with red dots on her chest. That's
intimidating.
Wow.
So threw the man down.
Like in the movies, yeah?
I think they'd been watching the movies, yeah, but the poor people that they'd attacked, I don't think they'd been watching too many movies about that. So that was absolutely, unwarranted. And it happened to other people too. Another person I do know told him to crawl out. I don't know how they identified who knew who, because in a small town, a lot of people know a lot of people, you know.
Everyone knows everybody.
Yeah, that's right. So probably, I don't really know how they identified who they were going to look in and look at. And, you know, I've heard stories of people looking at their back fence and they were wandering through the back fence looking for him. He said, I don't even know him, you know. So, and this is, you know, miles away. And I don't think, well, I know 2 doors away, they didn't look at that property until 6 weeks after the event. And that was only probably, as the crow flies, a few hundred metres.
And how close to the event was the raid on your property?
Not far as the crow flies. Probably.
No, like in timeline.
Oh, probably, well, if you go around the road, probably 10 minutes, if that. It's probably only for about 8 kilometres.
But is this like the same day the incident happened or weeks afterwards?
It was that night. So I think the incident occurred in the morning on the Tuesday, and then it was the early hours of Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
And then I said to them,
how long after when Desi allegedly shot the 2 police officers, how long after that was your property raided?
At about 2
just
o'clock.
Approximately.
2 o'clock in the morning. So that would have been 10 to 10, 12 and 4, 16 hours later.
Yeah.
The warrants I see were issued at 4 o'clock.
Did you already know? Did you already know then about what happened? Did they explain to you on the phone, or did someone call you that what happened with Desi?
No, they didn't. It was funny because we were up in the Gulf, and this reception up there is not that flash as we just mentioned about central Queensland. It comes and goes, and we saw something and went, oh, we know where that is. And then, of course, we put all 2 together, and, people had tried to contact us to tell us. And then, so we did know, but at 2:30 in the morning, I didn't think they would. I thought I could give them the keypad entries and they could just open the door. I don't think he would have been in the locked up houses with the big sign that says my phone number on the front gate, which is, probably 10 inches high, that you can ring someone. So, and when they said it was urgent, and I said to them, well, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's only a 3-hour drive from Melbourne. Yeah. So if you had the warrant at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 hours would be 7 o'clock in the evening, not 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there was a bit of a bit
of a time difference, bit of a time delay. Yeah. So, and then there are other places around here that are even closer that they didn't even go and look at. So, I don't know how they establish where they look and where they don't look. It's quite interesting. I think there are lots of moving parts to it, and maybe they don't communicate. I did actually run into some raptors at the coffee shop.
Oh, really?
I didn't even know what a raptor was.
Yeah, so they're basically the Special Operations Group. Is that correct? For those that don't know?
I had to Google it because I didn't know. And apparently, I think Daniel Andrews set them up for the bikie gangs.
Yeah.
I think
that's right.
That was set up for the when the gangland wars were on.
Yeah, right. Okay. So when they said they were raptors, I said, were you responsible for wrecking my house? Oh, no, we didn't do that. I said, lucky for you. I'm quite tall as I look down on them. It was pretty funny. Then another really it was quite funny. The state government were going to reimburse. It's a bit funny, really. Everybody was crying, poor, how bad it was for the economy. Hang on. There's been people that have lost their lives. I don't think worrying about how many dollars are in the bank or not in the bank are of that much importance, really. No. I think there were more important things to be concerned about. Anyway, they sent around a bus because they were going to give the businesses $5,000. However, the sole traders couldn't get it, and you had to jump through 50 hoops to get it. It would have cost $5,000 in accounting fees to get it all put together.
Yeah.
So I actually went down to the bus just to, find out what was going on. Being a bit of a, I think I've got shit stirrer written on my Cardi Girl spoon. That would be very fitting. Yep. Went down to the bus, and when I was chatting to these guys who seemed to be a bit on our page, 2 police officers came along, and I actually did all those photos up as an affidavit so it could go straight to the court and have it stamped if I needed to take action about getting our dollars back, because I have been in court a couple of times before. So I sort of had a bit of a rough idea of the procedure. And anyway, these 2 police, normal police, what are they called, in their blue clothes and their guns and their whatever.
Constables.
The constables, came walking along.
Constable.
And I said, "Oh, look, you're just the men I need. What would you do if this happened?" And I showed them a photo of the glass all smashed in, and they said, "Have you reported it?" I said, "No, because you did it." Well, the look on their face, it was gold. It was gold. Yeah. It was really quite funny. Yeah. So I said to them, I might have to report it if we don't get our money. Anyway, they came clean and they did pay us. But that was a lot of damage for what they could have done. And we got local tradespeople who, there's a photo. Like, they went through the glass, and the glass was from where there's a swimming pool this side. There was glass all around the edge of the pool. It was all into the sides of the inside. It even hit the TV on the far wall, put little chips out of the TV. So they must have hit it with some heavy bolt, So there's a door that I don't know why they couldn't have just, anyway, we had to replace all the doors. And then
that's from the stun grenades, I believe?
That's from the stun grenades. Now, I'm really pissed off about that, because one of the rooms, I didn't really see it properly, and I can still slightly see a mark because it burnt. They're wooden. Those floors are wooden, so it actually burnt the floors. Yeah. So, and then of course we had to strip all the beds, had to be washed, and everything had to be washed, because I don't know what's in that stuff. Probably some sort of poison. And I don't know where he would have been laying under a flat bed, but I've been told that apparently people hide in the bases.
Yeah, there have been cases of that.
Yeah.
You're lucky they didn't cut the bases open then.
Well, if you did that, how would you get into the base and have the bed made perfectly and all tucked in?
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate, but if he's got people helping him out, then they would assume that someone's made the bed for him.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yep.
And they're 2 mats we had in the cabin, so they burnt. That's on the underside of one of the mats, so that burnt right through the mat.
Yeah.
And that actually went onto the floor as well, burnt through to the floor. I don't know. I've never seen one of those things. They must make a bit of a bang.
Yeah, well, I've just they make a mess.
I've only seen them in movies. So,
yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam
Michael J just said, Kay, what odds would you give us that Desi is alive?
I flip and I flop. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
I've actually been following this guy. He's an ex-con, and he believes that Desi is still alive, and that the cops think that he's still alive because of the press conferences that they've had, and because of the reward that they're offering, and they're offering the reward for the whereabouts, and not for. Usually, apparently, the cop says they give the reward for when there's been a conviction, but this one is just for the whereabouts.
Well, I think they've had, what did they say? They've had 2,000 calls or something, and they still haven't got the right whereabouts. So I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because to get an actual legal judgment on any of this, with my experience with them, they don't really know, and you've got to go to the 11th degree to try and find an answer. because they just don't know. They'll say it, and you'll say, well, we need legislation. Where's the legislation or the law to show it? You know, and I think we should be asking for those that proof too, because when you read a warrant, it's so airy-fairy. So I actually rang our local member, because I don't know in Victoria, because are you guys in Victoria? No.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
we're both in Victoria.
Yeah. So in Victoria, you know, with the state of emergency, they kept extending it. So that changes a lot of things when they extend to state of emergency. And I've asked a local councillor, I've asked a local member, he has, in his favour, he has rung back and he's missed me, but are we in a state of emergency? Because that would make sense then with how the behaviour was with the warrants, because the warrants are really wishy-washy.
Broad.
Yeah. And there were two. One was from 2 different warrants signed 3 minutes apart, but they were different warrants from different sections. One was from the criminal courts and one was from the magistrates court. So I'm not quite sure how that works. And there's no affidavit behind them, whereas once upon a time they had to raise an affidavit to raise a warrant, whereas I don't think they have to do that now. But I don't really know anyone who knows the exact answer.
No, I wouldn't have any idea.
No. So that would be a really interesting question.
It says here, it's a bit hard probably for people to read, so I'll read it out. This warrant is directed to the officer issued this warrant, all police officers, and authorises any police officer with the aid of any assistance posing necessary specialised skills or technical knowledge to break, enter and search the warrant premises for anything of any kind described in this warrant, and to break open or unlock any receptacle in or on the warrant premises.
Correct. Yes. But there's no, as I said, I was under the impression that they needed to raise an affidavit to raise a warrant. And there's no affidavit accompanying those warrants. So, and then when I asked about that, they said, we don't have to do that anymore. Well,
what exactly is an affidavit for those people that don't know, which is me?
An affidavit is a statement of truth, and it will acknowledge why you're doing something. So when I put our 34 pages together, I put it as an affidavit. My statement, I state, what had happened, and then you have that witnessed by a JP, and then that is good enough to put into a court because that's your statement of truth. So it is important always to have you have to have an affidavit if you're going to go into court. Yeah, basically. So it's a statement of truth, in short. Yeah, different to a stat deck.
Is it because of the gravity of the nature of the 2 police officers having been killed? Could that override it at all?
No, I don't. I'm not sure. That's why this question about are we in a state of emergency is really important. Or I haven't pursued this, but if they hadn't have paid our money, that would have been my next question. Well, can you please tell me with the warrant? Like even when you see the magistrate, it hasn't even got their proper name. It's just a surname. I had to Google it to see if they were real.
Beck just, and I asked you just before you came on as well, Beck Swift just asked, Kay, can you set the record straight on the Dan Andrews treason case? So
yes. Yeah, many people think that Desi was involved with that in Myrtleford. He was not involved in that. I know because I was very involved in it. Desi had nothing to do with that. Desi was pulled up, and Marley and the kids were pulled up, drove to Myrtleford like a couple of hundred other people did, walking across the road. The case we were waiting to hear, no one could go into the courtroom because of the pandemic. So we'd set up in a small church hall about probably 50 metres from the courthouse. And when they eventually got through, they actually dismissed the case before they even heard the case. I believe that's actually illegal. The magistrate can't dismiss it.
They have to give a reason, don't they, for an adjournment?
Yeah, and they made some story up about there was one extra piece of paper or something. They couldn't hear. They said there was too much noise on the line. So everybody was very, very annoyed about that. And of course, Daniel, Mr. Andrews, Premier Andrews, as I call him, Wooden Spooner Andrews, he had COVID that day. Come to the court hearing, but then he didn't need to come. He only needed to go on to Zoom because nobody was allowed in the courtroom. So Desi was just purely walking across the road and then was jumped by about 6 police. I was there, and Marley, they grabbed her, they took him off to, same thing, came up with some historical sex thing. You know, that's what they smear everybody with, don't they? That's the best thing of all time, next to being a sovereign citizen. So anyway, then they released him. He did have a little webcam thing on his a GoPro, and they wiped everything that was on that GoPro.
Ooh.
Except for one thing, because I saw it. They left a picture of his shoe of the guy that jumped on him. The picture of his shoe was the last thing on the GoPro. So people need to ensure it had nothing to do with the Daniel Andrews case in Myrtleford, nothing at all. So that was the diversion. I believe they did that as a diversion to the case, the court case. You know, because so there's so many misdemeanors out there, and the truth needs to come out, you know, and I guess bits and pieces will come out eventually as people are ready for it to come out. Because at the moment there's just a lot of people, you know, surmising what's happened and what hasn't happened, and I guess it's a time thing too. It's not going to happen in 5 minutes.
No.
Yeah. So it's really it's sad for so many people, and it should never have happened. I believe Desi was pushed and prodded for many, many years because he was challenging the law with their own law.
Yeah.
He was a very, very cluey fellow. He was, and I think it just, I don't know, he just couldn't let it go. It started off with a speeding fine, and he had really valid points on that, as we all know, but you're never going to win, you know?
No.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just, you'll never win. Well, not with our current system. It needs an overhaul, I think.
Yep,
Definitely needs an overhaul. So, yeah. So that's sort of basically what happened. And then they were we did ring them because for many years we'd had Marley's safe here because they didn't want to have it on the well, they had nowhere to put it where they were, and we've got lock-up sheds, and it's quite legal to put your gun safes at another property because you're licensed. And Marley, because people hunt, there's a lot of people around here who hunt for deer. They live on deer, you know, healthiest meat of all time. So they did hunt, you know, so it wasn't like anybody was hiding anything. You know, it's almost like nowadays, if you've got a gun, it's like, I grew up in the country. I'm a country girl. So guns were, I got a gun for my 10th birthday. So, you know, second nature to me. And I think after I shot a bird, I think after that I only ever shot tin cans. So, you know, it was quite normal. And that was the other thing. We rang them to tell them they better go check that because we didn't know what state of mind anybody was in. And it took them, I think we rang them at about 9 o'clock in the morning on the Wednesday, and they didn't go there until the Thursday afternoon.
Wow.
So that's another, doesn't make any sense.
Well, and when they raided the property, the gun safe was at your property?
No, it was at our own home.
Okay,
so we just lived down the road. We're about 1 kilometre away from that property.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're on both sides, either side of the road. One's down a bit further. Yeah. So, so that didn't make any sense either. We would have thought they would have gone straight there.
Yeah.
If you're really concerned.
It's all a bit weird.
So if Des wasn't that involved with the Myrtleford court case, why have the police targeted him? Because it seems pretty obvious to me that they did.
Well, you may have seen he's challenged them in the courtrooms with their own laws, and they don't really like that. And I just think, you know, they don't like it. So they've used him as an example, I believe. It's not the courtroom is. Oh, well, I had a bit of time in there, 2.5 years, but I self-represented as well with some advice from a few other people as well, because I'd actually took it constitutionally, and then mine was a bit different because it was an $11,000 fine by the police in Bright. So being in my office, it's comical, being in my office on my own, and I'm a travel agent. I'm a travel agent.
No,
you couldn't travel.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been busy.
Well, I was. Refunded. We refunded
refunding
hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Contrary to what the media were telling people, there were no refunds. There were refunds. So,
of course.
Yeah. So the day I was in my office working, I had those stupid QR people not QR people, those COVID people coming in, wanting me to do my book, you know, told me it was law that I had to do a COVID. They gave you this book designed for a 2-year-old. I drew pictures in mine. So it's really good. I use stick figures. It was ridiculous. It was all about this COVID plan for your business. It was absolutely ludicrous. Actually, I've never done the research on who had the contract to produce that book. Somebody probably made a lot of money out of that book.
I think a lot of people did. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, look, honestly, seriously. So anyway, they came in. She came in. She said, "Are you open?" And I went, No, I didn't invite you in. And the door was open. And so they fined me $11,000.
What?
Yeah.
So I took it to court because I knew it was ridiculous. And it was 2.5 years later. We didn't discuss my fine at all. I refused to discuss it until they dealt with the treason that's been happening in this country for many years. And anyway, finally, I eventually got a hearing, and the magistrate wanted to call it off that morning. But then all of a sudden he had to go out the back, and so did the prosecutor. Oh, give me a break. They wanted to get paid, obviously. So we just extended that for 2 days. And then when it got my turn, I got to put them all in the box because I subpoenaed people in.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, it was comic. It was comical. It was actually quite fun. But
yeah.
Anyway, we got thrown out another time, physically thrown out. And I thought my husband was going to kill someone. And I had my 98-year-old dad on his walker, you know, coming out. Oh, it was just disgusting. Anyway.
Lucky you didn't get charged with assault.
Well, you know what Dad said? My dad said to me, "Katie, you should have kneed him in the balls." when he grabbed me by the arm. It was quite funny. And then there was another case when I was in there half an hour. I was in there and they wiped everything I'd said from my side because I don't think they wanted to hear what I was saying because I was
Hang on. How can they have to have everything? They've got like a stenographer, I believe. Is that like someone
recorded.
Who records everything?
Everything is recorded. But supposedly the microphone on my side was broken.
Wow.
How funny is that? However, as I walk in the room, they didn't wipe it all. They forgot you could hear me say good morning.
So it worked for a little while.
I worked for a little while, and then apparently I must have knocked it or something.
Okay.
And I said, "Well, I don't think I'd even touched it." Oh yeah, cock and bull story. I got this thing back. I challenged it because there'd probably still be a recording somewhere. They'd have to have that. But they didn't want to hear what I was saying. That was pretty easy, and I'd been told that does happen, so we did record it. Unbelievable. I've learned so much in the last 5 years. And then after all this happening, it's just...
You're blowing my mind, actually.
I thought I was too old to learn anymore.
Yeah.
Although my T-shirt says, you can't really see it, it says, "Whatever we know, there is always more to know."
Yes. Well,
he said David Icke said that.
oh, really?
Yeah. I
We've
thought,
got to
what
try
a
and
great
get him on the
saying.
show.
I know. Wouldn't it be good? How would I try and get?
would be
I thought
good.
I might, if I sent a photo of me with his t-shirt on, he might come
Yeah,
on the
that'd be
show.
great.
Yeah.
I've
Yes.
got Jess. It's a little bit off the topic, but Jess Arnold has just asked, can I ask if you know anything about the current status of the IBAC case at the moment by any chance, Kay?
No. Is this IBAC for corruption?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, that'd be the CFMEU. Is that?
Oh, actually, talking about the CFMEU, I challenged our land tax with 2 years ago. And my letter basically said to the State Revenue Office, who I might add, the Commissioner still hasn't responded to me. Very rude. I would have thought I would have got a, no response or something from him, registered letter. And my question was, we're really happy to pay our land tax, very happy, but I just need to ensure that there's no criminal activity between the CFMEU and the state government.
Oh, wow. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2.5 years ago, maybe. Yeah. And
Wow.
I said, because if there has been I'm complicit in the crime, and I certainly don't want to be aiding and abetting and then being part of the crime. So all I need to know, as long as there was no criminal activity, I'm very happy to pay. I can't get an answer.
Wow.
We can't pay then.
Just a threat to say if I don't pay if I don't pay my land tax, we'll get onto your bank. So I got it that far. Then I went to the bank and I said, who's the bank, whoever they are, some address? And well, they didn't really know, but it came through to my banker. And I said, well, who's the department that they're sending it to? But now I've got more proof because we know it's happened. But there is criminal activity. It's everywhere.
Yes. It's yeah.
So do you think they're going to say no? There's no criminal activity? I don't think so.
No.
They can't, can they?
But we all need to ask this question.
Sorry, Jess has just followed up with no to do with Desi's incident. In any situation where a police officer has lost their life, it is mandatory for one to be put onto IBAC.
Oh, no, I don't know anything about that.
I've heard nothing about that. That IBAC has investigated that.
But I don't know how do you investigate when there's no body?
Well, the IBAC said even though that they were referred problems with the CFMEU, that they had no powers to actually investigate, which blows my mind with the CFMEU. So what are they there for? Like, why even have that?
Well, I think when the police went to, what are they called? The police force instead of a police service, I think is wrong. It should be a police service. It shouldn't be a police force. Don't you reckon?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
They're a service. They're a service. They're no different to, they're an important service. I believe that. But they're a service, not running around with guns and pepper spray and, I find that, that was just some information I was going to find out. Hang on a sec. That's all right.
I did the other day coming back from that festival, bumped into, the PSOs at their station.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Armed with a firearm, a taser, and a pepper spray. And I informed them that I had clicked on my Mikey. So keep it in your holster.
Yeah, leave me alone. What could go wrong?
Pretty extreme fare evasion there.
Oh,
yeah. Well, apparently they're cutting back on PSOs. I saw.
They might use AI.
Yeah. Yep.
I find it, when you go to a football game and they're wandering around with guns and pepper spray, is it really necessary to carry guns at a football game?
Well, it's a show of force, isn't it, from the police?
That word force again. Yeah, how about some community stuff, I spoke to a fellow the other day and he was so upset. He was 4 kilometres over on the highway He said it's $200 and something fine.
That's
I said, no,
ludicrous.
it is ludicrous.
Over
And then
5Ks.
and then I had another girl sent me a photo. She had her phone just on her knee driving.
I had that happen. Wayne's had it happen.
$600 fine. But it could be an MP3 player listening to music.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Wayne. It happened to Wayne. It happened to me. I think mine was $800 and 4 demerit points.
Yeah, Wayne was 1,200.
Yeah, in Queensland, is that right?
Yeah.
It happened to him in Queensland. Yeah, and it was on his lap. Mine was on my lap as well, and I was actually charging it, and I just had it on my lap. Yeah, I mean, you could say no excuses, but it's just stupid. It's on your lap. You're not using it. If I was using
Your
it,
hands are on the
okay,
wheel.
I'd be like, yeah, my hands are on the wheel.
wheel.
Yep.
I don't know whether anyone's challenged that, because that is such a stupid rule. I mean, you could have music playing, as you said, you charge it, and if you haven't got any room in the middle of your car, you have it sitting on your knee while you're driving. I mean, that's.
Have you seen the inside of a patrol car?
No, you probably can't get in.
There's the laptops and fucking that many fucking diversions in there. It's not funny.
Yes. Yep.
And I do have a photo somewhere of one driving past me on the phone.
Yes. They're probably allowed.
They're trained.
You wouldn't think they'd need to hold a phone.
No, they've got a fucking laptop open in front of them.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we've had that on the show. We've talked about it, where the coppers have been caught on their phones, and they've just gotten away with it. Yeah.
Well,
they should be crucified by their superiors if they are caught out in public like that.
Yeah.
Correct.
They're above the law.
Correct.
Let's face it. Yeah.
I felt sorry for the guys that came up here 6 weeks after the event, because I do know through another person of one who was quite senior, and they were making them walk through Mount Buffalo apparently with a torch and a gun, I was told. 6 weeks after the event.
Yeah.
Looking for
now, I've been following this podcast called The Chaos Chronicles, and it's an ex-convict, but he actually showed footage of how there's these younger guys that went into the area and interviewed locals. And
yes,
have you seen that? And the locals seem very hostile about the police. Well, they were just very open about it.
Well, I think things got out with people that weren't even involved were pulled up, and I know 2 young girls were followed home from our place here one day. I mean, just not necessary, totally unnecessary. If you think we were doing anything, come and ask us. Certainly, it would be. No, I can see why. There was a lot of people weren't that happy, because also too they were parked in the main. We didn't have any people here, and there were people parked. The bus thing was parked in the main street for a few weeks, and I think I said last week. But the funniest thing on that was I was walking past, and this fellow's come over to them and said, "Excuse me, can you help me? I've lost my little white dog." To these 3 police officers standing there.
Oh, and how did they handle that?
Oh, she took down the phone number and
did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know where the dog was. Probably, I'd say by the sounds of him, he'd probably left it at home. No, they weren't happy. There was a couple of those videos made, and then one they made 3 of them, which wasn't very tasteful, I didn't think. There's a lot of wrong information in it. And then the second one, just one guy made it, and that wasn't. But I don't know who they were. I haven't seen them again.
Yeah, check it out. It's called The Chaos Chronicles.
Yeah,
I'm aware of it. Aware of it. He's very heavily tattooed face, ex-convict, but he's quite entertaining. He apparently he was quite a heavy in prison. I've heard from other people.
Right.
But he's got quite the following, and I don't mind him because he's bringing it to attention that there's a lot of things that seem to be wrong in the whole case. Especially, I don't understand, because it was a week or 2 weeks afterwards, they went to the property and then discharged like guns to.
Oh yes, to try and they
Well,
heard a shot. They heard a shot.
Yeah.
Down one end of the lane on one of the police cams, I believe, and so they wanted to know where the shot was coming from. I don't know how you'd tell that, but anyway.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole theory of behind
No,
that.
they must have
You
some
can't
sort of
shine any
scientific-
light on that either?
No, because we couldn't understand that, because you would think if you heard the gunshot, they'd be able to place where the webcam that picked it up, where they were. So, yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. Probably another lead, just trying everything. Because they were back here a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think you might be right. I think, well, one day I watched the helicopter fly for nearly 3 hours around and round in a circle from my veranda. The same loop, round and round. But come 5 o'clock, it stopped.
Smoko.
Smoko, yeah.
Or fuel.
Yeah, maybe fuel. Had to refuel.
Don't have time.
Yeah, so there were lots of things that just didn't, lots of things haven't made sense. But anyway, it was shocking. It should never have happened. I mean, well, still nobody knows what the charges are all about.
Well, this is what I find really confusing. I'm still trying to get my head around why they were after him. And from what it seems like, the warrant that they were executing, I've got to get my hand on it, but I always just run out of time I was going to get more prepared for this. Not that it's been quite entertaining and interesting having you on. But from what I understand is all it was, he was skinny dipping, and then some kids came along, or there were kids there already. Do you know anything exactly what happened? But
That's
it sounds...
what I've heard too. And, well, I think my husband actually asked some detectives, what was it? Oh, we can't tell you. Well, can you not tell us because you don't know, or can you not tell us because... Oh, no, that's right. They said, there was a minor involved. Apparently, if there's a minor involved, it throws a different light on it. So, yeah, I don't understand why. It amazes me, really, because they don't have to name a pedophile when they live next door to you in a house.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make any sense. And yet, on the other hand, they won't disclose this information. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Set the record straight.
Yeah.
I've actually got an interesting...
mud.
I've got an interesting story. When I was in my 20s, we found out there were 3 Macedonian brothers, and one of them I was really good mates with, and they were getting into an argument, and one of them said, at least I'm not on a sex register offender. And I'm like, what? You're on on a register? Like, I can't, what? Like, my mind was blown.
Yeah.
And then they were hanging shit on him, but then the story turned out that this is just stupid as well. Like, he should not be on the register at all. So they were they were having a beef, these 3 Macedonian big brothers, whatever. And he's basically like, fuck you, whatever. He's in the driveway and he flashes a brown eye at his brothers and didn't realize the kids were next door, out in the yard. So they called the police, the neighbors. He explained to them what happened. He goes, I didn't know the kids were there, but he still had to go to court and then was put on a sex offender charge. So it wasn't
ridiculous.
It's just stupid. Yeah.
That is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, that just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. What about all those kids that used to do brown eyes out of the bus windows?
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know if
with their bum on the bus window.
my father caught one of my siblings flashing brown eyes on the road one day at cars, him and his mates. So the old when my sibling, I won't name names, got home, the old man made him strip and gave him money to go and buy bread.
Did he do it?
I got halfway down the street before the old man called him back.
Oh, really?
It
Oh,
traumatized
wow.
him till his late 50s.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's what you call discipline. How old was
Oh,
he when
yeah.
he did that?
Oh, he's probably about 10.
Scarred him for life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh dear. Yeah, that's funny. So, well, some funny things have happened. When I see you as a conspiracy, I'll have to catch you one day and tell you about all this other stuff I found out too about freedom of informations I've put in with something completely different with ASIC and ATO, and nobody will listen to me. And I've got all this really good stuff. We need to get it out there. And no one will listen. So, and I've got all the documents. I've got everything. So I'm going to Adelaide on Saturday to a day of activism. So Jody,
Take a vest.
Sorry,
Leave your cardi at home and take a vest.
yeah. No, it's not. It's poetry and music.
Okay.
I don't even know how it's quite funny actually, because they've got artwork, music, poetry, speakers. There's speakers like John Shipton will be speaking. It's actually being run by Jody, who was working for the Assange campaign and had a lot to do with getting bulk people to do stuff, and you get action. Yeah. But it's getting the people to do it. That's the whole thing. Like if everybody wrote a letter, like I wrote to the State Revenue Office, if you had 1,000 of those letters, wouldn't they then have to respond? Probably not, but anyway.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Letters, maybe.
Yeah, but even then, I've signed so many petitions since COVID, which I never did before, and it's just ignored. It's like nothing ever happens.
No. Well, look, it happened with all the COVID stuff. Nothing happened. We know it was all a scam. We knew it was a scam. And, that's what I said about, what's his name, Karl Stevanovic, is stated it publicly. Well, do something about it and bring some injured people on and have them have the discussion. Yeah. Because people still believe nobody was injured. So
he's definitely changed his tune recently.
Yeah, well, so he should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope a few people have, but probably not enough. Yeah. Yeah, so.
A lot of people have bagged him and said that they don't want to, forgive him, and he was a real arsehole. I've actually watched some footage where he's just bagging this woman who's just basically saying COVID's a scam. I'd love to see him actually personally apologise to her, because he said to her, "You're putting everyone in danger." Yes, yeah.
Comedy.
You'll have to show Kay that photo I sent you the other day.
Actually, you know what? I've got it. I've got the video right here. Actually, watch this.
Country now, trying to protect other people from passing on this killer virus, which is what it is. You have and espouse all these weird, wacko beliefs, and unfortunately, there are people out there who are going to believe you and who are going to side with you, and that's just irresponsible in the current climate. It's just irresponsible. You know what? I can't even listen to you anymore. I'm so sorry.
Put it to you, Carl?
I can't even listen to you.
I can't put it to you. You can't listen to me. That I have a medical exemption.
Nah, it's wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, he's sorry now, isn't he?
Well, I had another visit from the police because I wouldn't wear a mask into the hardware store here or sign in. It just gets stupider by the day, doesn't it? Yeah. I didn't get a fine for that. But I got a QR code fine because I wouldn't put a QR code up. And then I did one just to get a little teaser, put it up, rang them up. I did it about the biggest postage stamp because I needed the number on it. I needed a number because they're all numbered. So I rang the number at 3:00 in the afternoon. 5:00, time's out. I go back in the office, 9 o'clock next morning, I ring again. I get through at 11 a.m. and I say to the woman, somebody's just come into my office with that deadly disease. I'm so concerned that I'm going to get it. I need to see if she QR coded in. And the response was, I'm sorry, we can't tell you that. That's privacy.
Yeah.
Really? How many other people would have actually rung the hotline to see if the QR code even worked? Probably no one.
No, probably
Collecting
not.
data.
Nobody. I think everyone just accepted it. What I always have found astounding is they told us that this was going to be kept private and it was just going to be deleted afterwards. And I feel like it's, the Nelson Mandela effect, because I tell people this happened where, the commander-in-chief of COVID, I forgot what his name is, he's got a weird name, had a weird name. I think he's now in charge of transport, like portfolio.
Yes. Yep. I tried to take action against him, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was front page news that he sold all the information for the QR codes.
Yeah. Well, we knew that was going to happen.
It was in the Herald Sun. And I'm like, he should be going to jail for that. That's all our private information. That's the private information from all Victorians. And he sold it to some advertising companies or something. And I'm like,
well, those sheets of paper where everybody had their numbers written down, well, I think I never did it once and put a fake number and a fake name. I do know someone who was living near a pub and he found all those sheets of paper that had been thrown into the big tipper bin had blown out, and they were blowing out all over the road with people's phone numbers and names.
Yeah, I've heard those stories. Yeah, yeah,
terrible.
I've heard a couple of them.
Yeah,
it was
ludicrous.
I think it was in the 80s when they found everyone's census papers at the tip.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Not even shredded.
No.
Oh, golly. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, well, thank you. Hope I've thrown a little bit of light on it.
Thank you for your time.
There are a lot of stories, but they're not my stories to tell. So as time goes on, those stories will come out. But there's lots more to it. And I think, this will be a long game, I think.
One more question is, so when they raided your property, were the guns still in the safe?
Different property.
Yep.
Different property. Yeah, they're all there, locked up. They rang me and said, what's the code? And I said, how would I know the code? It's not my safe. I think they even rang me.
Well, it's illegal for you to have the code.
I know. Yes. But why would I need the code?
Yeah.
I think they were just seeing if they could trip you up there.
Oh, yeah, they thought I was half stupid. I've
Yes.
got dummy written on my forehead.
I think they were. They wanted to see if you were somehow involved. They wanted to pin something on you, I think.
Yeah, well, that wasn't going to work. No. But you said when they came to see me, oh, my goodness, I thought I was so important. They blocked the driveway off. They blocked the road off. There were people outside with machine guns.
Yeah, that would have been scary.
Sounds
well,
like
no, it wasn't, because I didn't even know they were out there because I was upstairs working, and I just said, come upstairs. And then I had a chat with them. And then I went out and they were all out there, and I said, well, I do hope you patted the horse. The horse made an effort to run to the fence.
I'm surprised they weren't threatened by it and shot it.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, then I would have taken action. Yes, because we're sort of fairly, we're not remote, but we're, in the country. So, it's not like we're in town. So, I was just looking about that Daniel Andrews. Oh, I signed it twice. Oh, yeah. So, what's happened to him, do you reckon?
Topher Field apparently said that it's all genuine. He had a contact in there. I don't believe so. I reckon he's on the he's faking it again. I think so anyway. But we had a friend of mine, Reggie, on, and she did say apparently, allegedly, back in the day in the late 1990s, he was actually fired from the Forester Arms Hotel in Oakley because he was drunk on the job and there were bottles missing. So when he was working there, and her dad was the chef there when she was 16 or 15, and he always was borrowing money from him. So the running joke was when he was premier, they said, "Oh, he still owes you $20 because he was always borrowing money." But apparently he was a big alcoholic. So I don't want to say that there's not a possibility that he's, that he had a stroke or whatever. But, it's funny. We have to show medical papers, and now it's like, oh, well, now it's all private. Jacinta Allen's like, I'm not going to comment on someone's medical records when it wasn't that long ago.
Everybody else had to. Everybody else was expected to.
Yeah.
So wrong. So wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I found out the other day? You know about Event 201, don't you?
Yes.
You know about Event 201 that was held in the October. Do you know in September, the month prior, the European Union had a meeting because they were worried about vaccine hesitancy a month earlier than Event 201. I just found it the other day. I was trying to find the link between Gates and that Ursula van whatever her name is from the EU. And
I don't know about that. Yeah, but I think I have read about that. Yeah. So you've got Event 201, for those people that don't know, is they had a what's the word for it? They had a day. Yeah, they had a conference, but they were. What would you do basically if
it was a play? It was a play out of a pandemic. Yeah. And that's what it was called.
Yeah, they had everyone around the table, like a strategy of, what you're going to do, how you're going to lock people down, how you're going to make people, lock people down. They were talking about that at Event 201, and that was in 1999?
No, it was in 2019, in October 2019.
So, yes, 2019. Sorry, yes, 2019.
And Australia had a main player. There were only 18 players. You can actually, if you look at it on YouTube, there's a 10-minute recap on it. It's really worth watching. I tell everybody to watch it because Australia had a player at it. Did you know that? Jane Helton. And guess who she was? Brett Sutton's sister-in-law.
Yes.
Oh.
It's fucking comical.
They think we're stupid.
I love that, they're telling us that, you're telling us that Daniel Andrews was an alcoholic thief from the Forester's Arms who obviously got his life together to fuck millions of others.
That is so well put.
Fucking hell.
Actually, but then it goes back further to Rob Hulls in 2005. I used this in my court. I knew nothing about this, and the guy said to me, just read this out. And when I read it out for my first court thing about the COVID, about the QR code, the screen went blank for about 40 seconds because Rob Hulls changed something within the Victorian Constitution.
Who's Rob Hulls? Sorry?
He was he the Attorney General in Victoria back in 2005? And guess who his main staffer was?
No.
Daniel Andrews.
Oh, yes. I knew you were going to say that.
It just gets murkier and murkier. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
It was really funny. Yep. That case went out the door really quickly because I got fined for not having a QR code. So I took that to court as well.
Did you read that one that's on the screen, mate?
I caught COVID. I prolapsed. My cock fell off and I died. It would have been so much worse if I wasn't vaccinated. Stay safe, people.
That's good.
Yeah, that's the
Thank
quality
you, Simon
of
O'Rourke, for
that.
That's right. But anyway, you just hope people know about all this stuff, and then they put the dots together, and once you put the dots together, it all falls into place. Just how corrupt it all is.
Yeah.
It is mind blowing. It is.
And
just
there's still sheep that believe it was all right.
Yep. And I recommend, if you haven't watched it yet or listened to it, the Bike Boy True Crime podcast.
Yeah.
Have you listened to it?
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
bad. It's like I think he was driving.
Yeah. If he gets
the
away
cover
with
up
this,
is enormous.
what are we going to do if nothing happens?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like, it's going to court. I'd love to. Yeah, I don't know.
Will it have a jury?
I'm just.
Will it have a jury? Will it have a jury, or will it just be a magistrate or a judge, county court? I don't know which court it's going to.
I don't know either.
No.
No, I'll have to do a search on AI on Grok.
Ray's posted there. Where can people see your Cardi girls?
On this
Where and when?
channel.
On this
Cafe Lockout, Rumble,
Cafe
and
Locked Out, Rumble. We do ours every second week because it was hard. There's so many, getting guests, finding guests, with good stories. I tell you, I've got a friend. I'm going to try and get him on. He's done a podcast, a documentary about all the gold up in this area. There's some really interesting stuff up in this area.
Yeah.
Like thousands of people died during the gold rush years, and there was a big Chinese community, and there's all these sorts of things. So I'm trying to get him on our next show, but we only do it fortnightly. So
okay, yep, yeah.
So every second Tuesday. So yeah. So
and I've put up the episode where you talk about what we've been talking about tonight on our Rumble channel and on our YouTube WTF channel. So for those who want to check that out, but I think we've pretty much covered everything that you covered already. I just found it really interesting, and I'm like, this should be getting 100,000 views.
Yeah, I just sort of mentioned about sovereign citizen. If I hear that word one more time, in fact, I went to pick up a friend during this because she lived up where the roads were closed, and nobody would go there. They're all too scared. And I mean, I don't live in any fear. I'm so lucky I've got a husband I don't live in any fear. Anyway, I said, I'll come and get you. So I go to the roadblock and I get this young cop and we're chatting. He was quite nice. He's from Melbourne, never been here. And then I said, can I swear? And he said, oh, yeah. I said, there's no such thing as a fucking sovereign citizen.
I thought a sovereign citizen, that's the photo they took of you in the oldie clothes at Sovereign Hill. Isn't that a sovereign citizen?
You can't be a sovereign citizen. It is impossible. I had someone from the ABC contact me, and I refused to talk to the mainstream media. I had a few people, actually. I refuse. Anyway, I sent him a text, though, with this rant about there's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. I thought he might have a response, but I didn't hear again. I mean, seriously.
It wasn't the response he wanted.
No, it's just another, like, you're a conspiracy theorist, or you're a this, or you're a that, or you're a racist, or you're an anti-Semite, or you're a something, you're a whatever, Oh, but if I hear that term, but I do believe Australia is sovereign.
Well, we'll see about
that. I don't know if you heard or saw. Four Corners had a they had a special. We'll let you go after this, but they had a special Four Corners special. Have you heard about this on sovereign citizens?
I think I did. Yes, but I didn't watch it.
So we had Wayne, Robin from Courage is the Cure, and Michael Gray Griffiths, and we watched it back. And in the comments, I saw someone say that reporter is a Mongol bikie.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I did know about that. Yeah, I did follow that.
And I'm like, I looked at the comment, and then I started researching while I'm looking it up and Googling it. It's this guy called Mahmoud Fazal who threatened the Geordie boys, and he's a standover man for the Mongols, and he's still got the Mongols tattoo apparently, and he's reporting for the ABC.
For the ABC, yeah.
And I'm like, this can't be real. How low has the ABC sunk that they've got a standover man?
It's an inclusive society, mate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Diversity.
Kelly just said that was 1 week before the incident here.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Or was it after? The week after, maybe.
I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up because I'm pretty sure it was after all the stuff up your way that they really jumped on it.
Yeah, we had
But
all
it
those
seems
things in Melbourne.
very coincidental because you've still got to edit it together. You've got to get the interviews and everything. So maybe they got it together really quick. But then who would want to be part of that? There were a few people, and Michael said he knew a couple of the people. Robin said, I think, he interviewed some of those people. But, yeah, they were just painted in a really bad light.
Yeah. Well, it's not possible to be one anyway. It's impossible.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. But, I mean, the whole argument and the whole Four Corners has just killed themselves. How can you take that serious if you then realise that guy is a criminal and he's got a criminal background, he's a bikie enforcer, and they've got him. And not only that, like he basically, from a criminal family, he told the Geordies, basically, you better back off and not investigate this. And he's been on another podcast where he's talking about, and they've talking about criminals, and I don't know who the other guy is. They were doing a podcast together, and they've had a fallout. And then basically he extorted the guy, and the guy was a tough nut as well, apparently, but he just threw the money at him and said, oh, here you go. This is what I owe you, now fuck off. So this guy has no credibility, and he's the one investigating sovereign citizens, which to me is
probably paid.
Yeah.
Paid for it.
But you've got to, I can't. I laughed through the whole Four Corners episode when we were dissecting it, and I was like a dog with a bone. I couldn't let it go. I'm like, what? This can't be real.
No. The credibility, zero. And we're paying for that, I might add.
Yeah.
We're paying for that.
Yeah. He's getting paid by the ABC.
Which is costing how much? It just gets worse.
Tim just asked, what's a Geordie boy? It's a podcast. It's called The Geordies. The Geordies? Yeah. Yeah. It's a pretty, I'll send you a link to it, Tim. Yeah. I love this beautiful Cardi girl. Someone just comment. I love this beautiful Cardi girl from me. All right.
Oh, thank you.
All right. We'll let you go.
Yeah,
it's been a real pleasure.
No, thank you for having me on. And I want to talk to you about this other thing, though. So I'll have to talk to you about it. It's very intriguing.
Yeah. Cool.
Very intriguing.
That's fantastic.
I reckon I know where all the money that's gone missing from how they've lost all this money.
Oh.
15 bill.
Joining the dots, here.
Yep.
All right. Wow. Okay. Well, thank you. Good night and sleep tight.
Good night.
Good night.
See ya.
All right. Thank you. See ya. Bye.
That was good.
That was good. That was great. Wow.
Now,
yeah.
The plot thickens, the bullshit sticks.
Yeah. So, bit serious tonight. So how about I think it's 10:20 already. We had her on for an hour and 20 or hour 10. Kay rocks. Yes, she does. She's great. Excellent. How about we do Is This Racist segment, and we finish it off early tonight. I'll see what else I've got in the bag.
Not a problem. I'll grab a beer.
Yeah, cool.
Pretty goody. Hey, no, ma, no.
I didn't check. Better. I didn't check the playback. It sometimes does this. It fucks the sound up. She's telling her boyfriend she can hear people in the attic, and she said, I want you to board it up because she reckons there's Jews.
này đặc biệt đó. Nhìn kìa, eo ngô chiên. Ngon quá, giòn rụm luôn.
I'm here to speak up for all non-human animals.
I'm just saying chickens seem like they only have one purpose, and that's to be eaten. Like, what do chickens do?
Well, that's no different to saying that black people only have a purpose to be slaves.
What the fuck did we do?
Do you want to try to solve one of my riddles?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Emily, let's solve his riddle.
Let's see if you guys can work together. You got two, half of brains anyway. Riddle me this. Unmask my identity, you have every clue. Luciferians, communists, and globalists too. You may call me these names, but never a blank. Who am I?
Hold on, we gotta talk about this.
If the riddle is very complicated, you can take a pass. I will give you one pass. And
Let me take a pass.
Okay, you will take a pass? Okay.
Yeah.
Riddle me this. They love fried chicken and watermelon. It's usually fetty that they be selling. Their fathers are known to be deserters, and calling them this word causes murders. Who are they?
Are you racist? Why are you smiling like that?
Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
What's
up, nigga?
Hang on.
Full customized
Those
shipment.
people that didn't get it. Just been told by the kebab guy that the meat is killed in the traditional Islamic way. How the fuck do you strap a backpack to a chicken?
What's up, nigga? Full customized shipment. More than 100 shorts and t-shirts we made for our USA-based customer. We have minimum of 30 units. We provide affordable prices. Fucking fastest turnaround time. If you want custom apparel made for your brand, must tap in with Meow Sport.
What the fuck is this world?
Hurdy-gurdy. No, ma, no.
Yes,
that
is
last
100%.
one. That last one. What's up, nigga? That's a real store. That's a real store.
You're not supposed to say the N-word, Tom.
That is real. Like, yeah, it's an Instagram, like obviously with my algorithm, what I get. And I'm like, that's a joke. But then I went through his Instagram and that's all he's doing. And that's his brand name. He's Indian and that's his brand name. What's up, nigga?
You've said it twice now.
Oh, well, we're never going to get cancelled.
We've tried.
We're just going to explode. We're going to explode, mate. We're going to explode.
Like a backpack on a chicken.
Hey, now, talking about the politicians, I just found this fucking hilarious because, you know, they're telling us that we can't use hate speech and, you know, that basically we can get arrested for it. But listen to this. This is just, it's like, you know, that old show, Yes Minister and Utopia put together in one. But this is actually real. You've probably seen this. I don't know.
Senator Thorpe, do you have a point of order?
She's called me bitch.
Senator Thorpe, do you have a point of order?
I do. I just got called a bitch by the racist.
how long they take. I thought it was frozen, but they're discussing. What do we do now?
By the racist. Who's the racist?
Pauline Hanson called her a bitch, but I don't know if she did or didn't. She probably did. You know, she muttered it.
I remind senators to use respectful language at all times in the chamber, including when they're not speaking. Senator Thorpe, did you have a further point of order?
No, I'm good now, thanks.
No, I'm
Senator
good
Waters,
now.
to resume.
I just got to watch that again. That is, I feel like I'm watching a comedy.
She's called me a bitch.
Senator Thorpe, do you have a point of order?
I do. I just got called a bitch by the racist.
She's even smirking herself.
So instead of addressing the issue, she basically just calls her names back.
Yeah.
She, like, instead of going, she just called me a bitch. Like, can we do something about this, or can she be reprimanded? She goes, I just got called a bitch by the racist. It's fucking so high school, man.
Oh yeah, that's what we're paying them for.
Yeah. All right, I'll have a look for one or two more, and then we'll head off. I think we'll call it an early one.
Yep, nice.
Yeah.
Well, early for you, not for me.
Yeah. PJ's folder. What have I got here? Oh, yes. All right, cool. PJ's folder. I like this. This guy's from Norwegian, and he's a feminist.
Oh, yeah. Iceland,
that's it.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Does it take to change a tire? 1. It's 2025. Men can also be feminists. Sometimes I'm called sexist, and I find that weird because women are my favorite thing after video games. They are in second place with roast beef. A lot of feminists have double standards, but that's because being a woman is so hard that they need twice the amount of everything. Even standards. I just saw a man crash his car while eating a sandwich. And they say only women can do two things at the same time. In Iceland, women can do anything. They can build a house, become a man. It's probably better if they become a man before they build the house, so it is habitable. But even some of them can cook. Going to IKEA with your wife is a lot like walking through hell. I was walking with my dog, and there was another man walking with his dog, and I said, "You wanna switch?" And we both laugh about it. And then I was walking with my baby, and there was another man walking with his baby, and I said, "You wanna switch?" And we both laugh about it. And yesterday I was walking with my girlfriend, and there was another couple walking towards us, and I said, "Good day." Giving birth is like having a toothache in your penis. That's why I'm a feminist. The most important game in the history of Icelandic female football is about to begin. If they manage to win or draw against the Netherlands, they will go to the World Cup for the very first time. I'm not gonna watch it because it's women's soccer, but I will check the score tomorrow. A pack of tampons and a poem is a perfect Christmas present for a lady. Guys don't read poems. I know this is usually a comedy channel, but I also have a poem. It's called The Lake Behind Me. Yesterday you were frozen. Today you're not. But there are still birds on you. What? Tomorrow you might be gone. But if not, then I might just dip in if it's not too hot.
He's gold.
Yeah.
He's gold.
You said in Iceland, you don't have to lock your bike. Did I suggest you do because it will be stolen?
All right. One more from PJ's folder. What's the other one? Oh, Jenny Talia. We've had you know what? I'd love to actually have her on the show. I'll reach out. I can't believe anyone comes on our show anyway. I can't believe the guests that we've had. I can't believe we've had Brooke Shaw, Nick Patterson. I really want to get Nick Patterson fucking back on because I can't believe he didn't mention when we had him on the show that he's actually been overseas rescuing kids like in The Sound of Freedom. Did you know that?
No.
I saw an interview and he's talking about that. And I'm like, it was just a snippet, 20, 30 seconds. And he's talking about that. And I'm like, what? Like he's Sound of Freedom guy.
Yep.
All right. Let's watch this and we'll see if we can get her on the show. I reckon she'd be funny. I reckon she'd suit our format, wouldn't she?
He came down to Venezuela and took their president away. I was hoping maybe next time he could come to Australia and take Albo. It's been nearly 4 years we've had him in charge of us, and he either does fuck all or he goes and fucks shit up. Please take him away so we can forget the name Albo. Albo! Who the fuck is Albo?
Oh, all right.
All right, my friend.
We call it a night tonight. I've got 2 more 12-hour days. I've got Friday off. Oh, and a shout out to Damien Richardson. He's going to the Magistrates Court in Melbourne because he did the thing, the howdy do. The howdy do. Yeah. And he was saying we can't even do that. And then we end up, in prison and he's paying the price for it. It is so stupid because then they're calling each other racists and bitches. And now that's hate speech. And none of them, Lydia Thorpe was talking, that's incitement to riot when she said we should burn down Parliament. And they did. Well, they tried to anyway, down in Canberra. And we've got a sponsor. Hang on.
Sponsor? It's not Asahi. Well, left me here. Should I just close the lappy? What do you reckon? Oh, here he is.
T-Rex. T-Rex Tea. Our first sponsor. Someone brave enough to actually put their name to this podcast. Probably be the end of the tea
company.
The company. They're probably going to get raided tomorrow. Going to be some stun grenades going off at T-Rex tomorrow. Look, Johanna goes, it's only 9:30. Well, it's actually 10:39 in Melbourne. So, and we need our beauty sleep.
And like tons of it.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
And you're doing 12, so
I'm doing 12 hours. I've got to get up at 4:30 and I'll finish at 6. I started anyway. All right. Share, subscribe. And if you don't want to, it's not mandated. And goodbye.